All right, guys, you'll need a piece of paper out. Go ahead and get it titled and dated. We are going to be working on finding equivalent equations when given them in another format. So we've been dealing with equations that have been in slope-intercept form. Remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where y is what is by itself on one side of the equal sign. So what's going to happen is they're going to give you an equation, but it is written in what we call standard form. You're going to deal with standard form a lot more next year in algebra. But they're going to give you an equation that is written in a different format than y equals mx plus b. But what they want you to do is they want you to take 2x plus y equals negative 6, and they want you to change it to its equivalent equation in y equals mx plus b form. So we need to get it so that it looks like y equals the slope times the value of x and then the y-intercept. It's a pretty simple process. You have to go back to your skills of solving equations. So, of course, we're not solving for x or for y in the sense of we want to know what number it is, but we're going to solve for y. In any equation that we solve, we're trying to get the variable by itself. It usually is x, and there's only one variable. But in this case, what we want to get by itself is the y. So we're going to move everything else away, just like we would do if we were solving an equation. So let me show you one. So the only thing that is over here on the left-hand side with the y is this 2x. If I move this 2x, y is going to be by itself, which is what I need. So it's the exact same way we would move it when we're solving equations. If we want to get that positive 2x from the left side of the equal sign to the right side of the equal sign, we would do the inverse. So we would subtract the 2x from the left to the right-hand side. So that leaves y by itself on the left, which is exactly what we want. We cannot combine this negative 6 and the negative 2x because the negative 2x has a variable and the negative 6 does not. We just want to rewrite it so that it looks like mx plus b. So you want to write negative 2x. That's going to be, negative 2 is going to be our slope. And then minus 6, which is going to be our y-intercept. Once you have it in the format of y equals mx and then b, you're done. So our final answer is y equals negative 2x minus 6. That's an equivalent equation of 2x plus y equals negative 6. It's just kind of rearranged, so it's in a different format. So let's do another one. Again, we want it in y equals mx plus b. All right, this one has a little bit more work that needs to be done, but it's still a pretty simple process. So when we were solving equations, we always moved whatever was not with the variable first. So right now, this 4 is connected to the y. So we have to move everything else before we can deal with that 4. So the first thing you're going to move is this negative 3x. So since it's a negative 3x, to get it to the other side, I'm going to take the whole thing and I want to add it. So that gives me 4y equals, I can't combine 12 and 3x, so I have 3x, and that's a positive 12. So then the only thing I have to do is I have to get that 4 away from that y. So since right now it's 4 times the value of y, I have to do the inverse of that. So I'm going to have to divide that 4 to get it away from the y. Now here's where things get a little more complicated. Over on the right, since there are 2 terms, 3x and positive 12, you have to divide both by 4. So we get y equals, now that 3 over 4, if we divided that, we would get 0.75x. But 3 over 4, or 0.75, that's going to be our m value. That's our slope. How do we always want our slope to be written? Well, we always want it to be written as a fraction. So when you're dividing that, as long as it's simplified, then you can leave it as a fraction. So I'm going to leave this as 3 over 4x. But then I have to divide these numbers. So 12 divided by 4 is a positive 3. So y equals 3 over 4x plus 3 is the same thing as negative 3x plus 4y equals 12. It's just in a different format. All right, so this is just like solving equations. The only thing different is we're not going to figure out what the variables actually stand for. We just need to get the y by itself. All right. So we need to get the y by itself. So we're going to take this 6x, it's positive, so we're going to subtract it. Now you have to be careful here because this is a negative 7y, so you still have to bring that negative down there with that y. Negative 6x plus 14. So I have negative 7 times y. So I need to get the negative 7 away from the y by dividing. Then you have to divide both parts on the other side. So if I took negative 6 and I divided it by negative 7, I would get some sort of decimal. So I know that I'm going to leave it in fraction form. However, I know that 2 negatives is going to equal a positive. So you still have to follow all your simplifying rules when it comes to slope. So a negative 6 over a negative 7 is going to become a positive number for our slope. And then 14 divided by negative 7 is a negative 2. So that's our new answer. All right, I'm going to put up another one. I want you to pause it, and I want you to try it before seeing what the actual final answer is. So I'm going to put one up here. I want you to try it before. So go ahead and pause the video, work this one out, and then see if you come up with the right answer. All right, so negative 9x, I have to add that because that's the opposite. So I get negative 3y is equal to 9x plus 15. I'm going to divide the negative 3 away from the y. I have to divide all numbers. So I have 9 over negative 3. So I'm going to see if that will simplify. And it does. It simplifies to negative 3x. And then 15 divided by negative 3 is a negative 5. So that's what you should have gotten. All right, I'm going to give you a few problems to try on your own. And then you'll need to get them checked by me. those a try. If you have any questions, let me know.